All right, welcome back to another episode where we chat about AIM and the volunteering and kind of interview a couple of past mentors. So today I'm interviewing Phoebe. Now, Phoebe is a teaching student at the University of Sydney, and Phoebe completed the training process with AIM a little while ago. And so we're just going to have a little bit of a chat about what it was like. So, how are you going, Phoebe?
I'm really well, thank you, Anna. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so happy that you're here. It's fantastic to get to chat to you.
I'm so excited. It's such a cool project that you're doing, and I think AIM's so important too.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so I kind of wanted to get started and I just wanted to ask you, how did you hear about AIM initially?
so I went to a school in Glebe, Original and Torres Strait Islander population. So I actually heard about AIM as a student because a lot of my friends were involved in the program, and I went to school with the founder of AIM's younger sister. So there was a lot of discussion about AIM, and a lot of the programs that AIM launches or has launched since were kind of, I guess, run at schools as a bit of a practice. I remember really clearly my friends going to different AIM events or being involved in AIM and just being so excited about it and looking forward to it all week. So I think from then on, I was very interested in AIM and exactly what it goes on at AIM because it was all a little bit secretive. I think this involved secretive in that they just wanted to keep the exciting things they were doing under wraps because it was all quite new.
Okay. And what were some of your first impressions once you started to get involved with AIM?
I think I joined AIM, like the mentoring program during COVID, the second lockdown. And despite everyone being separated at home, I think instantly from when I signed up, there was a huge sense of community. I received some really warm emails from different members of AIM. I was instantly added to a Facebook page for Sydney Uni students. And then I just was really impressed with how organized AIM is. The mentoring program, which is online, was really easy to complete, but still quite comprehensive and personal. There are lots of videos and podcasts and different resources to access as well to hear more about AIM and to understand how AIM, I guess, came into fruition from Jack's perspective. Yeah, I think often, particularly in education, I think we can agree that sometimes it can be quite disorganized with resources and lack of communication. But yeah, AIM felt different to that because it was so organized and just, I don't know, so clear with the path you need to take to complete the mentoring program.
Yeah, that's so true. I totally agree with you on that point about education. I feel like a lot of the time it's not as streamlined as it could be. So it's really interesting to see how AIM has kind of, I guess, created a system where people are able to kind of tap into like their ethos and like the skills more easily than you would be able to in a more like traditional educational environment. So yeah. So I guess kind of touching on that, what kind of skills did the training provide you with?
That's a really good question. I think, and it's something I guess you don't necessarily think about when you're completing the modules. I really enjoyed them. Like I really loved it. And it's quite a long mentor module process. It's about, I think, probably 2.5 hours in total with all the different activities. So very comprehensive, but there was a huge focus on connection and I guess drawing from students' personal knowledges and different perspectives, which I think is really interesting. And I've definitely taken that on with me into the classroom. Um, there was also a focus on, yeah, the creativity and doing things in different ways. So, multiple means of representation, as we know as teachers,
Yeah.
um, and like enabling students to get involved in AIM and its activities through drawing or through dance or through acting. There are lots of different ways to do it, which I also it really inspired me to branch out with some of the strategies I use. And I do that still in my tutoring and I've done it in my teaching placement. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, that's so lovely to hear that kind of like not only are you able to give back through, the process of being with AIM, but you also kind of get more out of it yourself. That's kind of like
Yeah.
from interviewing a lot of people, that's what I've kind of gathered, is that it's a real like two-way relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's so nice to break that stigma, or I guess power dynamic of like a teacher and a student
Yeah, definitely.
learning from each other.
Mm,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
very cool.
And so I guess you kind of touched on this a little bit already, but would you say that there was kind of one key takeaway from your experiences with AIM?
I think a key takeaway would be, yeah, the importance of that connection and the understanding of students, also fellow mentors on a personal level. I think that AIM is such an interesting and such an important program when we consider, particularly in light of actually COVID and the huge literacy gaps in students, and how that, I guess, kind of coincides with geographical location. So rural students, which I see and saw at schools going there, and also now, as well as just like privilege. So I think, yeah, it's just such an important program to be involved in. And I think a takeaway would be just how amazing it is and how people should join it.
Well, that kind of links in pretty well with my next and final question, which was going to be, what would you say to someone considering volunteering with AIM if they came to you and kind of asked for your opinion on that choice?
I'd say absolutely. I think, yeah, there's so much to learn from each other. And I think having the opportunity to be involved in something as awesome as AIM is really special. And particularly to, be able to meet these students who come from such diverse backgrounds. I think it can be quite rare, particularly not necessarily always, but particularly as a Sydney Uni student, a lot of people I think are quite privileged and maybe I don't kind of have access to those different perspectives. So I think it'd be such an awesome opportunity to do that and to learn not only about these students, but about yourself, as you have to kind of put yourself out there as well.
Yeah, that's so
Be
true.
creative.
Yeah, being creative, kind of learning from each other. I think that's something that, see, like when I've been working with AIM recently, it's been really interesting to see that kind of dynamic work, because even like everybody that I contact, I feel like I kind of learn stuff from them, just by interacting with them. So yeah, I think your sentiments really touch on the kind of the ethos of AIM. So it's been awesome to chat to you, Phoebe. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you have had like fun chatting as well.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Always a fun time with you, Anna.
that's very sweet. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys, and we'll see you next episode. Bye.